Hey guys, my name is Third Eye, and today we'll be reviewing the 8th studio album of American singer and songwriter Taylor Swift, Folklore, which was released on the 24th of July 2020, only 11 months after Lover, her 7th studio album. But before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like my videos, and if you have any idea for a future video about music, comment it down below. Remember that in all my reviews I write my final score of the album in the description, as well as my favorite and less favorite tracks. If I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting Taylor to drop an album by surprise in her entire career, because it's a very risky way to release an album, and not many artists in the music industry have done that. But surprisingly, she did, and now we have this hour-long album. And even when I heard that Taylor was gonna release a new album, I hoped to find some pop songs like in the Lover album, but I was actually wrong. Instead, Taylor offers us some acoustic songs with not that many production behind, and also some ballads, which focus a lot more on the story than in the sound itself. Although it turned out to be something totally different to my expectations, this album did, surprisingly, not disappoint me. The opening track, The One, belongs to my favorites. The production is very simple, but yet entertaining and really fun to listen to. Taylor's voice is obviously gorgeous, nothing really special to mention here, but what really is worth to talk about is the lyrics, and in particular, one line where she says, "If you never bleed, you're never gonna grow." It's really important to explain this line so that everyone can understand it, because Taylor is trying to teach us something in life. This exact sentence shows us that everything won't go our way all the time in life. We obviously can't become better versions of ourselves without having to suffer at some points of our life. And that's pretty important to know. Good job, Taylor. With this introductory song, she definitely caught my attention and made the rest of the album worth the listen. And yeah, I know that this obviously is not a mind-blowing start to the album, but it's still pretty good. The next track, Cardigan, is one of my favorites as well. I, again, love Taylor's vocals and the instrumental of this one. The lyrics are pretty good as well. The first thing that I gotta say about it is that I find curious that she compares herself to a cardigan with this line. And when I felt like it was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. I mean, this comparison is okay, but doesn't actually mean anything special. Another thing that I think is pretty cool about the lyrics is the repetition of the line, "When you are young they assume you know nothing," which is obviously pretty true, and also the turning point at the end of the song where she responds to this saying that she knew everything when she was young. Definitely an awesome track. The next one, The Last Great American Dynasty, is pretty good as well. The lyrics, this time, focus more on the story and the narration. Taylor talks about an historical figure called Rebecca Harkness, whose husband died some years after the marriage, making her very rich and also very criticized for doing whatever she wanted and ruining everything, as described in the song. I love the simple beat and that it becomes louder throughout the song. The song Exile is a masterpiece. The instrumental goes really hard in this one. I mean, that deep piano's fire. Bon Iver's feature is really good. If I'm being honest, I didn't actually know this artist before the song came out, but he killed it, so I'll definitely hear more of his music soon. His deep vocals are nice, but what I did not actually like from his feature is the pre-chorus, where he mixed his high-pitched vocals with normal ones. I think it doesn't really match the vibe in general of the song, but anyways. I also love the chemistry between Taylor and him. The part where they answer each other is nice, and it was also a really good idea. This song escalates until the point where it gets really loud, and that's cool as well. My Tears Ricochet is maybe the first not so great song in the album. There are some things to argue about here. The background singing of Taylor may become a little annoying throughout the song, and this song is a little boring in the first 2 minutes, until the real instrumental comes in. Don't get me wrong, this song is anyways okay, but I don't really care about it that much. MIRRORBALL is one of my favorites as well. The instrumental has a pretty chill vibe, which I like a lot. Fans have criticized that the drums are barely there and cannot be heard that much in the song, but I don't really complain about it, because for me, the most important part of the song is Taylor's vocals. This time, Taylor compares herself and her life to a mirror ball in the lyrics, which may be pretty to look at, but is really fragile. Her image has also changed a lot of times, just like the colors on a mirror ball. The song 7 is easily the best one in the entire album. Everything about the song is fantastic. The piano and the guitar are hilarious, and the instrumental breaks as well. The final one is even accompanied by some strings, really a good idea. Taylor delivers one of the best vocal performances in the album in the chorus. And the lyrics, damn the lyrics. What I could guess from them is that Taylor is talking about her childhood, where she was 7 years old and at the peak of her happiness as well. She talks about one of her friends at that time who had a difficult upbringing, and Taylor tried, obviously, to help her out with this. By the way, did you notice that the first track is called The One, the 7th 7, and the 8th August? Oh my gosh, she's such a genius, guys. August is pretty good. The instrumental is one of the best ones here. I love the instrumental breaks, where we hear a bunch of different instruments, even electric guitars, and Taylor singing as well. The lyrics are pretty interesting because, again, they focus on a story. Taylor this time tells how she spent a night with a guy she was in love with, but the romance she was desiring never happened. And it is at this part of the record that from now on, things start to get a little whack with the next tracks, an exception of some songs. This speaks for This Is Me Trying, which is pretty meh. The instrumental is not that good, not quite sure which instruments are on there, but the trumpets after the first chorus are simply trash. What I like is Taylor's vocal performance, as always, and also the post-chorus, where she sings the phrase, "At least I'm trying." But the lyrics and the meaning, damn, those are really deep. In this song, she basically confesses to all the mistakes which have led to breakups most of the time. She also apologizes to someone she has hurt in the past, and that's nice. The next track, Illicit Affairs, is pretty good. The instrumental, which consists in the majority of a single guitar, is not that bad, and Taylor Swift's vocals are nice and fit really well to it. What's bad about the instrumental is that it feels a little boring at the beginning, but that's not that big of a problem. Also, the high word at the end of almost every phrase in the verses is not that good either. I mean, those dang friends you can always stop were actually pretty unnecessary. My favorite part of the song, though, is the bridge. Those "don't call me kid, don't call me baby" give a nice change of the vibe to the song. Invisible String is once more meh. I like the instrumental. The guitar is pretty simple but yet really cute and fun to listen to. But Taylor's vocal performance is not that great. I mean, first of all, the flow of the chorus, man, it's so simple and even annoying. You used to work hard to get a little money. And the chorus is actually really lazy. You just have to look at the lyrics. Me. Ooh. But the lyrics of the rest of the song are quite nice. Taylor talks about an invisible string that connects two people in a relationship, and this string can easily be broken. That side of the song is cool, but the rest is pretty boring. I don't really care about it that much. And I forgot to say that it might be my least favorite one in the entire record, but I am still able to enjoy it, but only a bit. Mad Woman is definitely better and more enjoyable. I like the instrumental, which may seem repetitive, and yeah, it kind of is, and due to this, it makes the song a little boring. Taylor's vocals are sometimes good and sometimes bad. I don't like the ones in the verses, where she doesn't really sound like herself, but the flow is pretty cool though. The lyrics are basically all about a widow getting revenge on everyone who hurt her in the past. Epiphany is a piece of art. I love almost everything about it. The instrumental is awesome, and its breaks too. Taylor's vocals performance is awesome and clean as well. She sounds like an angel in this thing. The only part that I don't like about her vocals is when she screams at the end of one single phrase in the respective verses, like this. Rifle. That was not that good, honestly. It almost ruined the vibe of the song. But what is definitely the most important part of the song is the story, which for me gets a little heavy. The first verse is about her grandfather and how he participated in a single war during the Second World War, while the second is about the pandemic. These two events have one thing in common. Many lives were lost during these periods. Both soldiers and medical workers witnessed too many people bleeding out and breathing out respectively. It is a really good idea to make people aware of this, so good job, Taylor. The next track, Betty, is almost my favorite one in the album. I had to think about it quite a long time, but I finally chose 7 over this one, so it's at the second place. The guitar and the harmonica are really fun and cute, as well as Taylor's vocals. The lyrics are narrated in the first person, and Taylor tells the story where she's in love with someone and wondering if she showed up at their party, what their reaction would be like. It's really funny and catchy, and also definitely one of her best songs ever. Peace is okay. I like the guitar riff and Taylor's vocals, but the piano, which shows up only sometimes, isn't that good and doesn't match with the rest of the beat. And the biggest problem of them all is that it becomes incredibly boring because there is not a drastic change in the melody like in other songs of this album. The lyrics are pretty sweet though, because she states that she wants to always be there at any time for her lover. And that's good, but I don't actually care about the rest. Same for the closing track, Hoax. Although it's a little better, I still don't care about it at all. The piano and the guitar is nice, but I feel like the guitar takes too much time to come in, definitely. Taylor's vocals performance isn't the best one here, and as said for Peace, this song doesn't go through a drastic change, and is very boring as well. Nothing else to talk about here. And that was it. The final score is a 7 out of 10. Don't forget to check the description in order to see my favorite and less favorite tracks from the album, and that I upload videos weekly. Having said all that, bye, see you around.